in the kitchen of Bob Maxwell Walkaways with Charlie Singleton, who has been working here for many years, and I chose him because I didn't know much about his past, and I wanted to know because I'd like to introduce Charlie.
Thank you, Bob.
Alright, where were you born and raised?
I was born in Brooklyn, New York in 1962. Then I was, as an orphan, I was moved to Dutchess County in upstate, which is over the other side of the Hudson River. I moved there in 1964, and I stayed there to 1973.
What was your family life growing up?
Well, as I said, I was an orphan. I had one brother and one sister who went there with me, and we stayed together until 1987.
Alright. Did you ever graduate high school?
Actually, I moved around often a lot, and the group home which I came to Middletown in had been closed. And I was in the 11th grade, and I had to sign up for a Job Corps, which is a vocational training school. I went on to get my GED.
Did you play any sports in high school?
Yes, I ran track.
Alright. What brought you to the Orange County Fairgrounds?
Okay, as I said, I worked here part-time after school for the Orange County Summer Youth Program, which with the Orange County 4-H.
Okay. And when did you start working for Maxwell's?
I started work for Maxwell's in the summer of 1987.
Okay. Do you have any moments with my grandfather, Bob Maxwell?
Yes, your father was the person who actually was interested in me when I decided to leave working for maintenance. I wanted to try something different, and he asked me if I had any experience in food service, and I said yes. I took some training in Job Corps, which he said, okay, would you like to come and work for us? And I said, sure.
Do you have any good moments with him?
My fondest memory of Bob was one summer night when I was actually exhausted from working all day, and I wanted to leave, and he actually needed me to run the drive-in stand. And I went over, we had an excellent night, and he really appreciated that I stayed and I took care of the stand that night. And he was very confident that I was able to, do the job, and that I really appreciated that.
My grandfather, Poppy Flynn, was just recently passed away. I know you worked with him in the kitchen for many years. So do you have any good moments with him, any stories?
Yes, Bill Flynn, well, I used to call him Poopsicle. Your mom used to call him Poop, and I just added the sickle to it as a popsicle. I used to call him Poopsicle. Yes, we do a lot of jobs working in the arena in the wintertime. We do a lot of jobs down in Rockland. But Bill actually gave me the insight to, as a food prepper, being the man behind the scenes. We do a lot of work, and a lot of people, usually don't see what we do. And he's been, an inspiration to me as far as, being on time, making sure things are done properly, make sure everybody has enough stock and whatnot. And as your dad would say, your job is to make sure whatever it takes to make sure the event is successful. And I've always kept that in mind.
And has my dad always been good to you? He's a good boss and everything?
Oh yes, Rob and I started way back in high school, or junior high school actually, and he's always been a positive role. He's, kept me under his wing, and he's like, you have potential, you're a good person, and I see a lot of good in you, and, I really appreciate that.
What kept you out of trouble growing up?
I like to find positive people who have positive things to do. Always, keeping busy where, like I said, I ran track. I worked part-time after school. I used to find odds and ends in jobs just to, occupy my time. I didn't like to wander the streets. I didn't like to go out to bars and clubs like that. So I, always found someone who had a positive attitude, and I would, find things to them.
All right. Were you close to me and my family, my sister and my mom and everybody?
Yep. I've known Mimi, who is your grandmother. Her and Bob actually introduced me to Brenda, your dad, and Wendy. And your Aunt Wendy, which is, and your Uncle Jeff. I can't forget your uncle. All of them have always, I think they've always seen the positive side of me. They always liked me. They always said, he's a good guy, he's a decent guy, he's a hard worker, he's dependable, he's always available, and, I really appreciated that.
Now, I know you always used to call me and my sister as your sister and your brother, so do you have any stories with us to wrap things up?
Sissy is, I like Carissa because she does something that I used to do when I was young, and that's perform on stage. And I used to sing in talent shows and quality. So I really appreciate that in Sissy. And you have your sports. You like your baseball and your football, and that's the kind of things, like I said. I used to run track, and I used to like baseball. My favorite sport is football, and I see that in a lot of you guys. And yeah, really, like you guys. You guys bring that memories back to me of what I used to do when I was a kid.
We always had a good catch of football in the front yard.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
All right, this is the end of our interview, so thank you, Charlie, and
Thank
goodbye.
you, Bob.